Hey everyone, John here in a different format to usual. This is kind of different. I have a body this time, not just a floating voice, and that's because there are three things to cover. 1. Shadow Link is in Link's Awakening, the remake. 2. Astral Chain is topping the UK charts. And 3. We're going to debunk a debunk for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So let's dive in. So we're going to do it in that order because the very last one is kind of a spoiler, so we'll let you watch until the end, and if you want to just tune out, go away, never come back until the next video. So let's start with Link's Awakening. So this morning Nintendo uploaded this video to their Twitter showing off a Dampe dungeon with Shadow Link appearing and attacking you. Now if this sounds at all familiar, it's because we actually broke the news back in June about this. And basically what happens is you take the Link's Awakening Link amiibo, which is in my hand right now, looks great in person, and basically you put it down on your Pro Controller, your Joy-Con, your Switch Lite, those are all the things you can put them down on, and it basically spawns Shadow Link in your dungeon. So why on earth would you do this? Isn't he a hard guy to fight? Well, there are two reasons. Reason number one is defeating him gives you a boatload of rupees, and reason number two is he gives you a fairy. It actually restores your health when you defeat him. So if you made a dungeon that's just far too difficult, you can make it easier for yourself by summoning a shadow phantom who will probably kill you. So that sounds bad, but there's a risk-reward element, so you could either die, or you could save yourself. So actually, it's quite a clever feature, really. And it's not like Amiibo's just sort of beating the game for you, because if anything, it's making it harder for you. But even if there weren't some kind of reward, I'd be down for this. I just want Shadow Link in any games. It's been a while since he's appeared. Outside of Link Between Worlds, I think the last game he was in was Four Swords Adventures, maybe? Yeah, it's been a long time. But anyway, yeah, Link's Awakening Remake looks absolutely outstanding at the moment. I love the visuals, I love the soundtrack, sounds godlike. But the game itself, thus far, is basically one-to-one with the Game Boy original. That's not a bad thing in my opinion, but maybe it will start to feel a bit old when we get our hands on the game. And being able to have Shadow Link in these Dampe dungeons does add something new. So yeah, I mean, it looks like it's the best version of Link's Awakening. I just finished playing the Game Boy version for an upcoming video, and there are some flaws in that version. Like, if you go up to a boulder, it will say, "Oh, this is too heavy. How on earth are you going to pick this up?" Or if you go up to a skull, it's going to say, "If only you had the Pegasus boots." Even if you have the Pegasus boots, and you've had them for hours now. So, that kind of stuff gets annoying. Only having two buttons got annoying. So, the Switch version, by default, seems like the superior version. And having Shadow Link in there just kind of sweetens the deal. Plus, the colour dungeon's back, that's all we want. That's not going to feel at all dated. Anyway, on to point number 2. Astral Chain is dominating sales this week in the UK at number 1. Now, when Bayonetta 2 came out on Wii U, if you looked me in the eyes and just said, "John, I think Bayonetta 2 is going to be the best-selling game in the UK," I would have just pointed at you, like this, and laughed like a maniac. It won't, because no Platinum game has ever sold that well. They've never had a number 1 bestseller. Until now, that is. Astral Chain is actually number 1 in the UK right now, which is absolutely insane. That said though, the Switch has been doing fairly well for the country. Typically in the past, Nintendo have not done especially well in the UK, but with each first-party release, it feels like Nintendo are slowly getting more prominent in this country, which is a great thing. And we always get the UK sales, by the way, is because this is basically the only country that is transparent about what they've sold physically. And physically is also interesting to point out as well. These are all physical sales. Digital sales are not taken into account, and Astral Chain is part of the voucher program on the eShop. So I wonder if it's sold even more than what's being shown here. And of course we won't find out until the Nintendo financials, which are in a couple of months, but it looks promising. While the UK may not be reflective of the rest of the world, it is at least some kind of point to go on. Astral Chain is doing pretty well. And my Twitter is full of it, so I guess you guys like it too. We gave it a great review, we've liked a lot, and it seems the rest of the reviews have been even more, just generous. The game's performing extremely well, and it's getting the sales it deserves. If you haven't bought it yet, then go now, go do it, quick, before the spoilers come, because the spoilers are coming. Point number 3. Again, if you don't want to hear this relates to the 4th DLC character in Smash Bros. Ultimate. If you don't want to know, flee now. You gone? You staying? Is your webpage crashed? I'll speak now. So basically yesterday, On the official Nintendo UK website, it's always the UK, and I think the rest of Europe too actually, but on the European website for Smash, if you go on to Challenger Pack 4, I think they fixed it now, but at the bottom it would say copyright SNK Corporation. Now, that seems pretty clear cut, but a theory's been going around that this just relates to the SNK Heroines DLC and they somehow mixed up the two. So I don't think that sounds all too believable as it is, but let's debunk this debunk. So first and foremost, every single Smash Bros. Character is the same file size. A big part of why people believe this rumor is because the SNK Heroines DLC says the same file size as the SNK Smash DLC. Okay, so every Smash character is 4.19 megabytes. Hero is, Joker is, and now this mysterious SNK character is. So just because there's a coincidence that it matches the SNK Heroines DLC size, I don't think means a thing, because it's the exact same as other Smash DLC. And it's also worth noting that the actual data comes from patches. When you're buying this DLC, you're not downloading the character, you're just downloading a key to unlock the character. So I don't think that part of the argument holds any weight. But the second part is basically that there are no copyrights apart from SNK on the page, just like SNK Heroines. And if you look at Joker's page, you can say, yep, that seems convincing. But then you go to Hero's page and you see something like this. Where are all the other copyrights? These are just the Dragon Quest owners. I even took this screenshot on Dragon Quest XI's, and the copyrights are the exact same as what is on Hero's page. So clearly the DLC characters don't have to have the entire lineup of Smash copyright. Even Microsoft with Banjo just says Microsoft. So I don't think this argument holds any ground. I just think maybe people don't want to have this character in the game, so they're coming up with reasons for why it won't be in there. But either way, SNK are a big deal. I know a lot of people aren't too familiar with them, but they've been around for a long time. And a lot of what SNK has done in the past has kind of made Smash into what it is. A lot of elements, a lot of core elements from Smash wouldn't be here if it wasn't for SNK doing it in the first place. And of course, Capcom have already crossed over with SNK in the past. It just feels like a nice reunion for Ryu to finally meet Terry again. So I'm all for an SNK character, and I think this debunk doesn't actually have any kind of ground. It doesn't make any sense. Like, how would this have even happened? I accidentally pressed the SNK button on this Smash page. I think the likelihood is there's a direct coming up, and this page went live a little bit too early. I think we're going to get an SNK character in this upcoming direct. But until then, those are all the news updates today. Did any of them resonate with you, and do you agree with my outcome on the SNK debunking? Or do you still think that the SNK character isn't real? Let us know down below, and of course be sure to subscribe to Game Explain for a lot more news updates, and other things gaming too. Until next time, bye!